May profits be upon you. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. And here I am toiling away, trying to get the weekend to be as short as possible so I can get back to the markets. No, I'm going to enjoy my weekend. But I wanted to put this out on Friday. Well, it's like a half an hour before midnight, before it's Saturday. But I want to get this out for my viewers to look at in the morning, because I know your morning, some people, their mornings start way before mine. And some people like to take an early look at what might be coming up in the markets. Now, we're going to take a look at the futures. All right, the individual currency futures. All right, and we're going to start with the RT Money Meter updates here. All right, now the RT Money Meter tracks the rate of change of each individual currency from a futures perspective over a period of 15 weeks. And I update this every week, every weekend when the rates don't change. All right. And this week, there was a lot of movement. But I want you to, that's why I look at the individual currencies, so we can see just how strong or weak an individual currency might be. All right, in relation to their ranking against other currencies. Now, what we see is pullbacks. The theme of the upcoming analysis is pullbacks. US dollar, king of the hill for weeks and weeks and weeks, months, right? 941 last week, still ranked at number one, but we've come down like 3 percentage points, right? 6.89. That is a pullback, folks. That is a pullback. We'll go into this. We'll see it a little bit better in a little bit, in just a short minute. All right, the CAD went from minus 395 to minus 272. It pulled up. All right, it is trending to the upside. Okay, and one of the stronger pairs in relation to the other, one of the stronger currencies in relation to the other currencies. All right, the Swiss franc was at -5 last week, pretty weak, but this week it's minus 296. It is swinging up. All of the ones that I'm getting ready to read are swinging up, except for one. All right. The euro went from minus 844 to minus 619. That's trending up again, getting stronger. The Swiss, CAD, all of them getting a little bit stronger, right? Showing some more strength. The pound went from 932 to minus 799. Now look, that is a swing to the upside, right? It's a swing to the upside. It did get stronger, but it moved down in the rankings from 5 to 6. That's because other currencies showed a little bit more strength. All right, the Aussie, for one of them, all right, switch places with Aussie. Aussie was at minus 947 last week. This week is at minus 737. Look at that, moved up to rank number 5. All right, the New Zealand dollar was at minus 1080 last week, and it is now at minus 879. It did get stronger. It did start to pull up, right? It's been heading down, and now we are pulling back. But the yen went from minus 1117 to minus 845. All right, now you got to remember, there was interest rate decisions and GDP coming last week and this week, and CPI data, inflation data for these countries and everything, and this is affecting the way whether they're moving up or moving down in the rankings. All right, and the US dollar showed a little weakness. Let's go over to the charts. We're going to start with the Dixie, the dollar index, right? We can see that it is still a strong bullish market. The green the green dots just mark out the swing structure from a higher low to a higher high, breaking this high, right? And then a pullback, right? Another higher low to another higher high, breaking this structure. All right, we have a breaker structure to the upside. All right, and that just indicates that price is bullish. Right now, we had this pullback. Look at that. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've had bearish movement all of last week, right? But kind of moved to the side here, but the Friday's candle closed bullish, right? On a doji, really, a really indecisive kind of candle. Like I said, it's been moving sideways for the last 3 days. But look where the range went. The range dipped below the last 3 candles. All right. We could very well see more downside. It might not be finished the pullback. All right. We're running into an area here called the fair value gap or an imbalance, and price tends to fill these areas. If price does come down here, this is you see this 50% line here. This is the trading range, the top and the bottom, and this 50% line here is the you know what, I need to make that darker, just a tad bit darker. You guys are probably looking at me like, what is he pointing to? What is he talking about? All right, I'm going to make it darker right now. Let's make it about 40. All right. Looks good. That looks good. Boom. And one more. I'm making this 40. All right, the line that we need to pay attention to is at the 50%. That's the middle of the range. I need, when in pullback situations, I need that line to be, exceeded to premium prices up here. That's what I need. All right, or discount prices. In this case, in the case of an uptrend, I need to see price pull back here. And then I know it'll be high probability, anything below that 50% line. All right. And that's where I'm thinking that price will go. So we're going to see. We're going to, are we going to see more weakness? Why isn't this thing getting rid of this line here? I don't understand. Let me see something here. Yeah, something's not right. That's supposed to be disappearing. Yeah, I'm having some technical issues going on here. I love it when it happens when I'm trying to record. Okay, so yeah, so price could definitely move down, because what we're doing, it's just a correction to this impulse. All right, and you want to see a healthy pullback. We got the 50% line here. Anything in this area, and I'm looking at price to start to come back and make the higher high. All right, we're just facilitating a pullback. That's why you see this short term. I believe that the short term weakness that we see in the Dixie the last week or so is going to be short term. So I'm looking for price to maybe take out this low here, come into this area, and then we can see price come back up. All right, there you go. All right, but I'm definitely still bullish, with this with that currency. Let's move on to the next one, which will be the Canadian dollar. All right. Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention news. We got news coming up, right? On the 27th and 28th, we got the FOMC. That is all important. Where there's talk that there was talk that there was going to raise it 75 percentage points. Now there's some talk going around that because of the job numbers and whatnot, they might just raise it 50 percentage points. So this is going to be very important. We're going to see what things come, how things shake out come, I believe that's on Wednesday, right? So that's with the US dollar. All right. Now with the Canadian dollar, we had the inflation rate came in, those numbers came in, negative, had a negative effect on the Canadian dollar. And you see, the last 3 days, very bearish. But since the news, it was bullish. But look how this candle formed. It totally took out the highs here, right? And I just want you to see that this is a bearish market. All right, it's bearish, right? But what has happened is you see a low made, it push higher, a lower low, and then it push above that pullback high. All right. When I see this, I'm looking for price to come down in this area to find support and then bounce up. But this is a reversal pattern. And we've done 3 out of the 4 points on it. All right. Push down, pull back, lower low, break above the pullback high. That's where that dotted line is. And here we are. Now, if it breaks this high, that is a break of structure. That is a break of structure, and I'm keeping an eye on that. We get a break and close of the body of the candle. We get a break and close above this line. We are bullish for the Canadian dollar. All right. As it stands, price may pull back down, and we might see an inverted head and shoulders here if price pulls down and then comes up. All right. I'm keeping an eye out for this thing. I'm keeping an eye out. So yeah, so this is the range, and we are flirting with the 50% of this trading range from the high to this low. So I'm keeping an eye on things. This was a very strong bullish move, and it's in correction right now. It is in correction, and I do believe we're going to see more downside. We'll see some weakness come back to this to come back to the Canadian dollar. All right. So we'll look out for that. We just want to take a look at these charts and see just how strong or weak they really are. Now here is the Swiss franc. There is no news, no significant news that we have to look out for next week regarding the Canadian dollar. You can see that price has impulse down, and this is a very long, it took a while to get down here, right? But we see the correction, all right? Impulse correction, right? Now, with this correction, looked like this should have been a lower high to make a lower low, breaking this low, but that's not what happened. All right, so this isn't a lower high because it didn't make the lower low. It is a structure point that was broken. It broke the market structure from here. So this becomes a higher low, and only higher lows only make higher highs. All right. And what does this higher high make? A higher low. All right. That's where I have these green highlights. All right. And what am I expecting? The next expectational structural point. What did I just say? The next expectational structure point is a higher high. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. I call this a higher high. It's not a higher high. This is a higher high. Higher low, higher high, higher low. I'm looking for that higher high. So I'm going to look for more strength in the Swiss franc. I'm looking for a price, come on, man. All right, that's great. I love me some ICT. All right, so That's what I'm looking for. Where I'm bullish on this the Swiss franc. Okay, and let me see. We're looking at the euro dollar now. Again, we have it moving from minus 844 to minus 619, and you can see that swing up, right? And then 3 days of sideways movement, all right? But just know that we are in a downtrend, all right? And we have broken structure to the downside, all right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, all right? What am I expecting? A lower high to be made. And where would I be expecting that lower high to be made? Aha, I'm glad you asked, because I want to show you, all right? I'm coming from the top up here, right? Coming from the top, the very highest point, that's the lower high, down to the bottom here, which is the lower low. And we haven't reached the 50% mark yet. This is like right around a little better than the 38 and 38 fib. We want to be above that 50% mark. All right. And if we don't get up here, I'm not trading this. If we don't get up there, that's fine. But what do you think the intent of price is of this market? All right. Have we finished the correction here? There's a chance that we are, but look how this candle was formed with the larger rejection to the downside on the bottom side of it. All right. The candle never, its range never topped the previous candles. All right. But is there liquidity up here to come get? Is there a fair value gap here to come fill? There's incentive for price to come up, but that's a lot of momentum to the downside. This is the correction, and we're going to watch. We're going to watch the way this plays out. But we know that price did pull back, and now we're sideways. Could we see price finish this pullback here and continue down? I think that there's a pretty good chance for that. Okay, I'd like to see price come up as high as the previous breakout range, the breakout mark area. All right, where it broke structure. I would like to see price come up here and sweep the liquidity from these highs, and then come down. That would make sense to me. But I'm going to watch. We're going to watch it. All right. But we get a sense of how strong or how weak this is. And what we see as far as a pullback, I don't anticipate a lot of the euro to show a lot more strength, especially against the other, especially against the US dollar. All right. And it's in the middle of the pack. It's ranked number 4 right now out of 8. So we'll see. We're going to see in the individual pairs when I do the analysis for the individual pairs. Aussie dollar. What do we have? All right. I mean, it's not hard to see. All right. The first thing is last week we had the RBA meetings, right? In regards to the that was on 18th in regards to the interest rate. All right. And what kind of effect did that have on the currency? It affected it bullishly. Up we go, raising the rates, right? And it looks like you see how the trading range of Friday's candle exceeded the previous candle. All right. It closed but bearishly. Have we finished the pullback? That's always going to be my question. It came up to the 50% mark of this trading range from the top to bottom. We're at the 50% mark. All right. How could it go further? Could it go any further? The way this candle is forming, I'm not looking for it. You can see signs of exhaustion. It's closing bearishly. You can see some signs of exhaustion here. The momentum is starting to dissipate a bit. It swept this high here, and that's something I always look for. So, I think, the short-term strength being shown in the Aussie dollar, I think there's a good chance that we might see price this week head back down this way. Head back down. I have a faded green candle because it looks like it's gonna roll over. We'll see, because we're running into an area where I would expect price to top out, top out this pullback, this correction. The deal is, I just remembered, the deal is it broke this high here. Why is that high important? Because it came down, pulled back, came down, right? It exceeded, closed above, a break and close above that pullback high. That's usually indicating more bullishness to come. All right. I'm looking for price to go into that 50% area above it. And then we'll see if it rounds over. All right. Is this a reversal? This is the first signs of a reversal. Once it breaks this high, that's a break of market structure. Wait a minute now. Hold on. Actually, I'm sorry. This is an internal high because it didn't break this high. All right. Once it breaks this high, then I start thinking of price has confirmed the reversal in this market. All right. This isn't a confirmed reversal. This is the first signs of a reversal, a change of character. I need you to follow me on that. I'm sorry if I confused you. All right. But this is strong indication of the more short-term highs it takes out on the way up, makes you think, hey man, this thing might be reversing, and we're going to see that short-term bullishness become a little more longer term. All right, but I always look for the pullback, and this is efficient price action here. All right, there's no fair value gap that was left behind. Price came back and filled that void, and we could be seeing some price go. We could see price going up from there for sure. This is efficient price action. There's no imbalance. There's no imbalance there. So, sure, it could come back in sweep liquidity, but there's liquidity points up here to come and get. So it would make more sense. It would continue higher, but look at this rejection. That's something to note. But it's kind of moving a little sideways, still moving up, closing above the other ones, taking liquidity along, sweeping liquidity along the way. We're on that one a little long. I'm sorry. Let's move on. New Zealand dollar. All right. New Zealand dollar, same thing, lower low, lower high, lower low. We're breaking structure to the downside. We are still bearish, right? Here's the trading range, right? From the top here to the bottom here. All right, we are well past the 50% mark. We got the same situation with Aussie as we do with a New Zealand dollar. All right, price did sweep the high of previous candles. It closed like a doji, but there's a large wick of rejection from this area up there. We can see that there is a zone of supply there. All right, and price could very well, because we're well above the 50% mark over here. All right, price could very well start doing one of these numbers and rolling over. All right, or it can continue higher. Now we have the same situation here. A low, a pullback, a lower low, a break above, and close above that line. All right, and we see price kind of drifting upward. Not a lot of momentum to the upside, though. I'm noting these candles, the way they're formed. This one had momentum, that bullish candle. This one doesn't. This one looks like the momentum is leaving this push, this correction. All right, so I'm looking for price to pull back and come back come back to and bring those numbers back down from well, actually it went from -10, moved up to -879, but I suspect that number will be still in the red, and we may be looking at a 9 something next week. We'll see. We'll see how it all unfolds. And the last one is the Japanese yen. All right, the Japanese yen. Let's take a look at this. All right, first thing, we had a bank rate decision, interest rate decision on the 20th. All right, and they kept it the same as expected. They have a policy of keeping the yen devalued, the Bank of Japan. So that's fine. But despite that, we see bullishness. We see momentum moving to the upside. We see that this low being made, it pushed back, a lower low, and a break and close above that dotted line, which indicates the high of this bullish candle. All right, breaking the substructure here. So what am I expecting? I'm expecting a little bit more of the same. I'm thinking that the next candle will be bullish. All right, and you see this orange line here? This is a major breakout rate, a major breakout line. All right, if we go to the monthly, you can see this was a low from 2002, and we broke that. That was an important line. We broke it with a weekly candle close below that line. So we can expect price to go lower, but you see that we had last week had some news come in and it moved price up. Okay, and they kept the interest rate the same, and so price comes back and tests this consolidative range here. All right, comes back and tests that support that was there as resistance. All right, and that's more than a little bit interesting. We see here on a smaller scale, on a smaller level, that supply failed. All right, so what do I look for when supply fails? I look for it to come back. I look for it to pull back and test the demand area to see if it's going to go up. If supply is failing, buyers are the buyers are in control. If demand is failing, it's sellers that are in control. All right, so I'm looking for price to come back and test this line, this breakout, the major breakout line here, in this zone here. So we'll see if price gets past this line or not. I'm looking for price to show some signs of exhaustion and round over, because this is a very bearish market. That arrow is there for a reason. This is a very bearish market, and the Bank of Japan is not changing their policy at all to keep it devalued. They'll give a heads up when they do, but that ain't happening this month. We're looking out for the monetary policy meeting, and it's coming on. Why does it say July 5th? That happened already. That happened already. I'm sorry. I don't know what that's about. Who put that there? All right. So, yeah. So that's it. That is it. So I'm going to keep these things in mind. All right. We know who's really, don't get too crazy with, numbers getting a little better. See a little upswing. All it is a correction. All right. A short-term correction in most of these markets. And a couple of them, we pointed out that we've seen that there might be the signs of reversal. But for the most part, those just pullbacks, particularly with the US dollar. They're going to raise the rate, and that dollar is you're going to see strength go back in the dollar. And but we'll see how long how this thing goes, right? We're just going to watch it and get a better picture so we can make better decisions about the uh, the currency pairs that we're going to, we're going to trade, the FX pairs that we're going to trade this upcoming week. All right. So who am I going to be looking at? I'm going to be looking at still putting the extremes together, the strongest against the weakest. All right. And I'm going to use the US dollar, NZD, USD, US dollar, JPY, CAD, NZD CAD, and CAD yen. And I'll be looking at the majors too. I'll be looking at the majors too. GU, and what else was that came up? Was it GU? And yeah, I'm looking at that. This one, no, I don't want to. I don't want to mess with NU and AU. I have to take a closer look at those. All right, but I will definitely look at them against the. I definitely would look at CAD pairs like NZD CAD, CAD yen, and pound CAD and Aussie CAD. Yeah, I'll definitely look at those for sure. All right, look for those videos, and I'll give some detailed analysis on them. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you for staying to the end. If you stayed to the end, hey man, drop me some feedback, man, to let me know, man, because I want to make sure I shout you out. All right, I really appreciate those who watch the entire video because it helps my channel grow, the RT Money channel. All right. And I appreciate your help. All the hit the like button. All the likes help the YouTube algorithm. And I appreciate it, man. It lets me know that I'm doing the right thing. I'm sharing this stuff with you, and I'm putting some time in, and I need to get some feedback from you, and giving the likes and comments is that feedback that I need and what YouTube needs to help my channel grow. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next video.